Hi YouTube, welcome back. I am going to try something a little different with the gardening videos this year. Instead of having some how-tos and some garden tours and a whole bunch of stuff that I never get edited and put up and takes longer to film, I'm gonna try to do a weekly, or at least mostly weekly, garden vlog, where I'll just show you what I have been doing and, give some tips, tricks, things that I've learned, just so that I actually bring you along through the process instead of hurrying up, getting everything planted, and then trying to catch the videos up, which didn't work very well last year. So this is week one. I've had 1 week of trying to put stuff into the garden. So I'm just going to talk about that. This week I have gotten my potatoes and peas planted first. I put them in this bed here. This is actually 20 feet long from that end down to right here. I have the potatoes in the middle and on this side, and then the peas along the back. There's actually some fencing there now. I'm actually going to take that down and use it for something else, which I'll talk about later, and replace it with some nylon twine because I have a ton of that still around. I'm going to leave the posts up and just run the twine along these posts. I used this last year. I had the peas going up the fencing and the potatoes in front. It worked well, mostly. Some of the peas were a little bit older, the seeds, and they didn't germinate as fast. And in the meantime, the potatoes came up and blocked those particular ones out, and they didn't do very well. The peas that germinated right away, they were the newer seeds. They shot up, they stayed above the potatoes, and they grew beautifully. Well, this year, because of weather, I still needed to plant them both at the same time. So instead, I soaked the pea seeds overnight. Now, that's the normal recommended thing, is to soak your pea seeds. I've never done it before because I never had an issue with them germinating. Even the older seed would still germinate for me. It would just take a little bit longer. So I soaked all of the seeds to hopefully speed up germination and they can stay above the potatoes. But when I get the timing right, it works really well. And it'll be gorgeous later on, all lush and green, and, until the potatoes start looking like, the crypt keeper. So I'm pretty excited about that. I actually found some potatoes in the bed because I had tried to plant a second round to get a late harvest last year, and none of them came up because the soil was already too cold, and I didn't pre-sprout them before I put them in the soil. Well, a lot of them are still in there, so I actually kind of planted around those spots. So I ended up going across, because this actually does extend over and then up, but I went about a little over halfway across because of all the potatoes I found. So hopefully I will get a great harvest, and yeah, hopefully I get more peas, because everybody fights over the peas too. I never have enough to actually preserve them. They're always eaten fresh on the day, and I gotta fight the kids over them. I also, in that bed way over there, I planted my onion sets. Unfortunately, none of my onion seeds germinated. I had luck with those before on germinating, even though they were 2 years old. You're supposed to buy onion seeds every year. I'd had great luck with that before, so I thought I'd be fine. I didn't buy any onion seed, and none of them germinated. So I bought onion sets, and I put those in. I planted a couple onions last year that I left out here to go to seed, because onions are biennial. And the ones I really wanted, they didn't seem to make it. The red onions I have in the corner block hole up there, those are growing fine. So hopefully I'll get seed out of those this year to use for next year. But I don't want just red onions. I wanted some nice big Globo onions. That's what I planted last year. Those didn't make it. There were some weeds that were covering them. They didn't get any sunlight, and it looks like they rotted. I've also planted most of my cold crops, direct seeded, carrots, beets, radishes, Swiss chard, lettuce, and bok choy. I just planted the seeds. They're not up yet, so there's nothing to really show you. Except an empty looking bed with a weird sign covering half of it. Carrot seeds do germinate best if you can keep the soil covered until they germinate, because they do take so long. They're so small and close to the surface. It dries out really fast. If you can keep them covered, you'll keep the moisture in and you have a better chance of germination. So I have a sign, a big metal sign sitting on top of it because I didn't have any wood that big. Most people use boards, but carrots are traditionally planted in rows anyway, so long boards would make more sense. I have them in a 4x4 area at the end of a block bed, or the end of a wooden bed. Doesn't look very nice. It's not very pretty, but it won't be there long. Hopefully you'll get lots of carrots. And yeah, other than that, this week I've just been doing a lot of weeding and cleanup and prepping. I haven't even gotten to amending yet, but in the fall I didn't get as much prep done then as I had wanted to because of weather and school. It's weather, school, weather, school. So there was a little bit more work to do this spring that I'd wanted to, and we usually have a couple random days of really nice weather in like February, you know, right before it snows again. And we didn't really get that this year. So I didn't have those little odd days to just come outside and work on cleaning stuff up. I think we had one, and I did come outside. I got the onion bed ready, and this one wasn't that covered up with weeds yet. That was since the last nice day we had, but it's all in. I do need to get it mulched though, but I don't have any currently, so. As busy time of day, sorry. As for mulch, you can use pretty much anything that you have. You can, of course, buy mulch, but that gets expensive. You can use compost, leaves, grass clippings even. I have used it all. You just want to keep the potatoes covered. So as long as the potatoes are covered, you're good. But that is about it for now. It's just a week of getting stuff in the garden. I do have stuff going inside, not as much as I had wanted to. Again, I had some trouble with the peppers. I bought a heat mat, an actual seed starting heat mat made for seeds, and I have always put them in plastic baggies with wet paper towels, and then as soon as they germinate, put them in soil. Well, I put those on the heat mat, which is what I used to do with the old heating pad, and I would just have it on low. Well, the seed mat doesn't have a temperature setting, and yeah, it cooked my seeds. It was worse than last year setting them on top of the dehydrator. So yeah, had a little trouble. Tried some at room temperature, and I've got almost all my hot peppers to germinate, but not my sweets. So I'm still needing to start more pepper seeds. Beginning of May. Yeah, not going to be a great sweet pepper harvest. I think I'm going to do really good on the hot peppers though, so there's that. My tomatoes are doing well. I got some more of the perennials and herbs and stuff that I had trouble getting to germinate last year. I got some more of that going. So that will be expanded a little bit, but not everything. There's still more stuff that I need to try and get started before it's too late for this year. So that is about it. We're still getting a lot of rain, so a lot of things are weather permitting, but we're trying to get things in as best we can. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Join us again next week for updates on what we get done this next week. So thanks for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. May the Father bless you. Shalom.